Is this Disney World's worst buffet? I am here today at Disney's Beach Club Resort to dine at the Cape May Cafe. This restaurant offers a New England-inspired all-you-can-eat seafood feast. Seafood on a buffet? I don't know. This one scares me, guys. Let's go have dinner at Cape May Cafe. The Cape May Cafe is one of those Disney restaurants that people ride or die for. I feel like people either really love or hate this restaurant. During breakfast, they offer a traditional buffet with characters, and during dinner, a seafood buffet. But keep in mind, there are no characters during dinner. As always, I'm gonna show you everything they have on the buffet. I'll give you my 100% honest reviews on all of the food, and at the end, I'll let you know whether or not I think it's worth a dine. Let's go check in. All right, we've made our way inside, and I've got to say, this restaurant has a certain charm to it. It reminds me a lot of the 90s. You know, this place just has a certain Michael Eisner kind of feel to it. It's a place that would never be built today, or wouldn't look like this on the inside today. And you could just tell Michael Eisner, he had his hand in the design of this restaurant a little bit, or at least I think he did. And besides maybe little touch-ups here and there, they really haven't changed the design of this restaurant much, which I appreciate the old school nostalgia kind of feel of it. But let's stop talking about the interior of this restaurant and get back to what I said in the very beginning of this video. Is this the worst buffet at Disney World? And I feel like I need to back up why I said that. So let's reverse all the way to the very first time I dined here at the Cape May Cafe. I was a young child. I was here with my family, with my sisters, with my mom, with my dad, with my brother, with my cousins, and we were just about to get on a Disney cruise, and the night before, we came here to the Cape May Cafe for my very first time. Well, it was a bad decision because both my sister and I got food poisoning, unfortunately. Now, I am very aware that could happen at any restaurant, really. It was just unfortunate timing with the cruise, so I didn't come back here to this restaurant for quite a while. My next time back here was during COVID, and I thought it was decent. The buffet wasn't open, so the food was brought to our table. I felt a little bit safer during that experience, and I thought it was okay. Then fast forward to last year, I came here with some friends for my friend Sean's birthday, and we left still full because none of us enjoyed any of the food. I think I ended up eating a couple plates of mac and cheese, and that was about it. So I haven't had the best of experiences with this buffet here. But like I said, I know there are some die-hard Cape May Cafe fans, and since they're currently running a special where annual pass holders get 40% off of this buffet Mondays through Thursdays in June, I figured it was time to give Cape May Cafe another shot. Now this buffet is going to cost adults $49 and children $29. And if you remember back in the day, crab legs used to be included in the buffet. They still give you the bucket, but they are no longer included in the buffet, unfortunately. They now come at an additional cost of $29 per pound. I know that upset a lot of Cape May Cafe diehard fans, but you do get your annual pass holder 40% discount on the crab legs as well if you wanted to add them onto your meal. We're gonna make our plate in just a minute, but before we do, I wanna head up to the buffet and show you guys everything that is on the buffet. It's gonna be a little bit difficult. This restaurant is packed tonight since they brought that annual pass holder discount in, so it might be a little bit hard. There's a lot of people up there waiting for food, but I'm gonna do my best to show you everything. All right, so we're gonna start with some soups. They say this is a seasonal soup. It looks like maybe a chicken noodle. I'm not quite sure. And then this one here is gonna be a clam chowder. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to grab some of that. And then moving on down the line, we've got some salads. This one here is gonna be a seasonal house salad. Then we've got an ambrosia salad. You don't see that too often these days. My Grammy actually loves to make that. And then this here is a green salad with a chipotle ranch dressing. And then right next door, we're gonna have some fruit, some watermelon, some pineapple, and some grapes. Next to the fruits, we've got our cocktail sauce. That must mean some shrimp is coming. We've got some olives, some lemons and limes, some caprese salad right back there. And then, yep, a Disney buffet loves a good peel and eat shrimp. We've got plenty right there. These actually look good. They look really nice and seasoned. I see maybe some Old Bay on there. Here's actually some seafood pasta salad. That looks delicious, as does this Caesar salad. I'm gonna have to grab some of that. I love a good Caesar. We've got some croutons croutons next door, and some cheese, maybe some Swiss and cheddar. All right, moving on down, we're getting into more of like the entree style stuff. We've got some Parker House rolls and some butter. It looks like right here we've got some mashed potatoes. They don't look to be very creamy. They actually look quite dry. What is this? Some roasted lemon pepper chicken. Okay, we're getting into some of the non-seafood stuff. These are some barbecue pork ribs, some corn on the cob, and some steamed potatoes. Okay, you could do a little DIY seafood boil, because right next to that we have steamed mussels, and then next to our mussels are some steamed clams, although it is currently empty so you wouldn't be able to see them. And then next door, some steamed shrimp. So yeah, you could kind of like do a DIY seafood boil with the corn, with the potatoes, with the mussels, with the clams, with the shrimp. And then they've got some Old Bay, so you could add that on your seafood boil as well. And some cornbread. Oh, you guys know I love cornbread. Guys, this buffet is crazy. It might come in second place to Chef Mickey's for craziest buffet at Disney World. Okay, so after that we've got more meats. This right here is an onion sour cream. I think that'll pair well with these roasted meats, because this is a roasted pork. They're carving it up, and a coffee rubbed beef strip loin. And then we've got some kiddie options here, some pizza. This looks like just like the resort pizza that you could get at the quick service. We've got some meatballs and marinara, and then some marinara sauce and some pasta. Some more kiddie stuff, some baked chicken legs and some ketchup for them, and some mac and cheese. No chicken nuggets, you hate to see it. All right, some more adulty kind of things. Here is some broccoli, and then some seasonal veggies, some tomatoes, onions, green beans. Thank you. A plant-based tofu dish. And I'm not kidding, that's actually what it's called, plant-based tofu dish. It's like some cauliflower in there. And this is a pasta of the day. It looks like some zucchini. Ooh, fried fish nuggets. That reminds me a lot of the fried fish that they have on the Disney cruise. I always like that fried cod. These are some fried clam strips, some fried shrimp. Those fried shrimp actually look good, although there's not that many left. I'm gonna have to grab some of that. This is some roasted salmon. It looks like it might have like a sweet chili glaze. And then this right here is a paella. That was one of the worst buffet experiences that I have had in a while. This restaurant is packed. They even have like an extra room open on the side, and it's because this annual pass holder discount that it is just jam-packed in here. There are so many people here. This restaurant is large, and usually when restaurants are bigger like this and they're buffets, they have like two sides to the buffet, so it kind of alleviates some of the rush to the buffet because there's two sides and people could choose a side. Here it's just a square in the center of the room. All of the steamers are in the center of the buffet, and then all the food is just in a square around the outside, so everyone's just around that one buffet. And logistically, it doesn't work when this restaurant is full. I always say that Chef Mickey's is the most chaotic buffet where people just lose all of their manners and just go absolutely crazy at. I see people using their hands on the buffet. People just lose general sense of manners at the Chef Mickey's buffet. I'd say this is the second buffet where people go most feral at when it's busy. That was not a good experience, but I have made my first plate. We're gonna do an appetizer plate first, and then I'll get into like some of the seafood. We'll do a non-seafood plate and stuff, but I've made my appetizer plate. I've got a little Caesar salad there. I've got some of the peel and eat shrimp, and then I also got some of the clam chowder. I feel like if I get food poisoning again from this buffet, it will be from this clam chowder, but we'll see how it is. I see some chunks of celery, some chunks of potato, and some chunks of clam in there. Let's see. Could use some pepper. Definitely can use some pepper, but it's creamy. Tastes like a cross between a potato soup and a clam chowder. Reminds me a little bit of the clam chowder that you could get in Disney California Adventure in the bread bowl from San Francisco. I love that clam chowder. We're just missing that sourdough that it's served in, but it's Okay, good little start. Now for our salad. And I liked how they had the croutons on the side, so you could add as many as you'd like. I don't know if is there dressing on there? Doesn't really look like there's any dressing. I got a new salad when they put it on the buffet, so I took from the top, and I don't think it was like mixed around enough. So there's not enough dressing on my part. But it looked like a good Caesar salad. And I love Caesar salad with like seafood with shrimp and stuff. So I bet it would be good if it had dressing on it. Our peel and eat shrimp. Like I said, a Disney buffet. Whenever you go to Disney buffet, you can almost guarantee that there's going to be peel and eat shrimp on that buffet. They're always there. These ones have Old Bay on them. Love to see that. Some cocktail sauce. I mean, it's a peel and eat shrimp. I like the Old Bay on there. I can't get this tail off. Ooh, half the shrimp came off with that tail. These are nice and juicy. I definitely get the hints of Old Bay. And we've got our little bucket on the table. Put the shell in. Now, they also have like steamed shrimp to make our little seafood boil with later. So we're gonna see what's better. All right, we did a little bit of seafood on that first plate with the appetizers, so now let's do a plate of non-seafood. I know there's a lot of people out there that don't like seafood and might be a little scared to come to Cape May Cafe because it is a seafood buffet, but there is stuff that is not seafood, so we're gonna test that one out with a non-seafood plate. Plate number 2. Let me just say, people are starting to act way more civilized in this restaurant. It wasn't as crowded up there. People were behaving themselves, so it was a much more pleasant experience at the buffet for round 2. Thank God. I don't know if I could have handled another version of round 1. That was just too crazy, but let me show you what I got. A tour of the plate, if you will. We've got some mac and cheese. Well, we have to test out the buffet mac and cheese, I feel, everywhere we go. We've got a little pork rib, a little mashed potato, little, I think it was lemon pepper chicken, right? A little lemon pepper chicken. Did I say mashed potatoes? I think I did. If I didn't, I got mashed potatoes. I got some of that onion sour cream to pair with the beef. That should be really good together. And then I got some of the roasted pork as well. So this is all of the non-seafood options on the buffet. And I can't wait to try it out. Let's try the mashed potatoes first. These look really lumpy. Really lumpy and not great, to be honest, which is crazy because usually Disney buffet mashed potatoes are fantastic. They taste good. A little garlicky. Not great. Not as good as most Disney buffet mashed potatoes. But they're okay. They're passable. Mac and cheese. It looks very goofy. This was on the kids' buffet. Goofy, but good as well. I could get behind it. It's like that mac and cheese. I always say this about Disney mac and cheese at like quick service restaurants and some of the buffets, but it's like so bad that it's like amazing. Now for the meats, and I want to try, I think it was like, what, a coffee rubbed strip loin? I want to try this first. Look at that. It's very juicy. You can see all the seasoning that it's leaving behind. I don't know. I don't know if I have, oh, knife is cutting right through, so it must be pretty tender. This is a pretty rare piece, but I like my steak rare. We're going to get some of that onion sour cream on there. Looks good. Let's see. Oh yeah, I can definitely taste that coffee flavor, and I'm not sure how well the coffee flavor pairs with the onion flavor, actually. I don't think it pairs well at all. I want to try the beef on its own. On its own, the beef is good. I don't think it needs that onion sour cream. I think it would be maybe a little bit better if the sour cream was like really cold, but it's not kept on ice. And I feel like something like that needs to be kept on ice so it adds like a really cool, creamy kind of flavor. But I don't think the sour cream and the onion flavor goes with the coffee And usually when you get like a coffee rubbed beef, it doesn't add much flavor, but in this instance, it actually really does, and it really works. I can't believe actually how good this beef is. We also have this pork, and it looked to be crusted with like some garlic. This looked really good as well, and just from cutting into it, I could tell it's pretty tender. The cut felt more tender than it actually is. It's pretty tough. Definitely coated in some garlic though. I could taste that garlic. But the beef is the way to go. I really like that coffee rub, and actually the pork is kind of getting in some of that coffee rub, and it's adding some good flavor to the pork. That beef, I like it a lot. So far, this experience is already a lot better than my last, so I'm already happy with this meal. We've got these ribs here. These ribs look to be very, very saucy, which I don't know how I feel about overly saucy ribs, but we've got a lot of barbecue sauce on here. I just dripped some barbecue sauce on the cherry, yeah. These ribs leave a lot to be desired. As for the chicken, it looks like it might be a little dry. It's actually not. It has a nice smoky, maybe paprika-y flavor. Actually, better than expected. Two favorite meats on this plate, hands down, beef and the chicken. All right, plate number 3, or is this number 3? Or bowl number 3. I made myself a little seafood boil, and unfortunately, I did go a little bit overboard on the Old Bay. I actually took a bigger spoonful than I thought I would. So we do have a lot of Old Bay seasoning. I could literally smell it. It's like piercing my nose. But at least I can't say it's under-seasoned. It's definitely going to have enough seasoning on it. But this is our steamed seafood portion of the video, and they also offered to bring me some drawn butter if I wanted, but we're just going to see how it is without it. Maybe I don't need it. I don't know. I guess we should start with the shrimp. Please look at how much Old Bay I accidentally put on this shrimp, but at least it's on like the shell, right? So if I take it off, it shouldn't have too much. It's really overcooked. I definitely gotta go with the cold shrimp. I think the cold shrimp is definitely better with that cocktail sauce. I prefer it. I definitely have to go back up and get some more of the cocktail shrimp there. Oh my gosh, my clam's already fallen out of the shell. And I got a rogue clam that's not even in the shell. I put way too much Old Bay on that, but that is fully my fault, guys. Clam in the bucket. We've got our red potato here, our DIY seafood boil. Nice and soft roasted potato. I can get down with that. We've got our mussel. This looks so dry inside, doesn't it? It is really dry. Oh my gosh. In general, this is decent. And again, this is like a lot better than it was the last time I was here. I feel like because it is so busy tonight, they're refreshing everything so much more often than they were last time I was here. Last time I was here, it was a weekday, and this restaurant was just like completely empty. So things were sitting on the buffet for so long that things were just getting dried out, and you can tell things had been sitting for a while. Everything tasted like it. So it just wasn't as fresh. And tonight things are tasting a lot fresher. So the AP discount thing is really helping move things along, and this restaurant needed this because it was dying down a bit, you know, so it really helped not only bring people into this restaurant, but it helped keep the food fresh, you know. It really helped. Look at how much Old Bay is on this corn, please. I gotta eat it from the other side. All right, our final round of seafood, and I believe a lot of this stuff that I've got on this plate here kind of rotates depending on which day you come to Cape May. So you can see right here I've got some of that fried fish. I'm not sure what kind of fish it is. I've also got some of the fried shrimp, some of those fried clam strips, some of that glazed salmon, some of the paella right here. I see some andouille sausage, it looks like, and some shrimp in there as well. And then on this side, I got some of the seasonal veggies. Is that a big carrot there? I'm not sure. Looks a little burnt maybe. Let's start with this fish here. It looks to be very thin, and on this side it looks to be very greasy as well. Oh. It doesn't look to be like very flaky either. It looks to be mostly batter. It's very hot. I can see the steam escaping the fish. But it doesn't look like the best of cross sections. I mean, it is a seafood buffet, but you can't expect much from like fried fish on a buffet. But this doesn't look too hot. This is probably the worst thing I've eaten today. The batter is so greasy. In fact, grease is like the only flavor in this that I'm getting at all. And it's just like crunch. There's no like flaky fish feel because you can see it's just so, the fish is so thin. You need like a big juicy piece of fish in the center there. Actually, next door at the yacht club at El Compass, I'm not sure if it's still on the menu, but for lunch, they used to have a really good fish and chips meal, and I thought that was excellent. So I wish I kind of brought that recipe over here to Cape May Cafe, but it does not seem to be the same because this is, I would actually say, on par with like frozen fish and chips. Yeah, I'm gonna be good on the fried fish. On to these clam strips here. Now my mom believes that the fried clam strips are actually what gave my sister and I food poisoning back in the day because she thinks that is the only thing that her and I ate that no one else ate. But I'm gonna face my fears and I'm gonna eat them again. YOLO. Those also taste like nothing other than fried batter. But these fried shrimp, out of all of the fried items on my plate right now, these fried shrimp do look to be the best. They do look like they're like maybe hand breaded. I don't know if they definitely are, but these look like they have some potential. They look nice and juicy and plump, and they actually look like they have some seafood in there, and they're not just gonna be fried batter. Those do look a lot better than they taste, unfortunately. I thought they were gonna be really good. Okay, I was curious. They are deveined shrimp. Sometimes places be hiding. They hide and they use non-deveined shrimp in their fried shrimp and they think they can get away with it, but they're not crispy and crunchy like I had hoped they would be. Like at least the other two fried items were crispy, but these fried shrimp aren't really crisp. At least they do taste like fresher than the other items, but they look better than they taste, unfortunately. They're not awful, but like I wouldn't waste my stomach space on them. You know, let's try this salmon here. The salmon looks pretty good. Like I said, it looks like it's glazed in like some sweet chili sauce maybe. Flaked apart nicely, nicer than the fried fish. Definitely some Thai sweet chili sauce. Pretty decent. Not overcooked or anything. Cooked well. Out of everything on this plate so far, that is easily the best. And we've got this paella here. Some rice. Smoky flavor from the andouille. It's okay. Might be some boxed rice though. Definitely tastes like, what is that boxed yellow Spanish rice that you could get? Is it Goya? Goya brand? Definitely probably tastes and looks like that would be the case. And they just like tossed some shrimp and some andouille in there. So out of everything so far on this plate, salmon is the winner, but we still have these veggies. These look good. Green beans with the onions. They're okay. Carrot. That carrot is actually really good. All right, we've still got one more round of food, folks. Of course, it's not a Disney buffet without a ton of desserts. And there's actually a lot more desserts here than I expected. This here is what we're working with. Starting off with a maple cherry donut, they're calling this. I don't know. This looks more of like a nothing bundt cake to me. That's not a donut, but whatever. We'll call it a donut. This here is a New York cheesecake. It looks like it's got a little cherry on top. This is a brownie. It's a plant-based brownie. It actually looks pretty fudgy. Right next to the brownie, we've got the signature bonbon. It says it's a Cape May Cafe tradition since 2000, and we've got a little Mickey on top. Definitely got to try that. This right next to that is a mini fresh fruit eclair tart. That looks good. I love a little fresh fruit dessert, and this is a cranberry orange tart. Oh, Disney loves a good tart in those little pastry crusts. We've got some cookies, some chocolate chip, and some sugar cookies. Ooh, this is a Boston cream pie cupcake. Those look pretty good. And then I love when buffets have like a hot dessert. So this is a seasonal buckle with some berry sauce. It looks like there's some peaches in there, so a peach buckle. All right, here are our selections. I hope I have enough room to finish all these sweets, guys. But I wanted to try and sample everything. You know, we gotta try all of the sweets. And I don't know if I could remember what all of these are because they had so many different desserts. I feel like they had like more than usual up there, but we got the cheesecake, we got the eclair fruit tart, we got that donut. I gotta see what this donut, this non-donut donut is working with. We got the brownie, we got the Boston cream cupcake, we got the bonbon, the cheesecake. Did I say the cheesecake already? And we got the buckle. I think I got them all. Did I get them all right? I think I did. We're gonna do a little speed round taste test, starting with this plant-based brownie here. It actually looks really good and fudgy. It has a weird aftertaste to it, but it's moist. The maple cherry non-donut donut. That is like the driest cinnamon snickerdoodle spice cake I've ever tasted. And the cherry frosting on top is really weird on there. I'm not really sure how cherry goes with cinnamon. I don't think it goes at all. The eclair fruit tart here. It's a very light dessert. The tart itself is very light, and the pastry cream is not very sweet, and I like the raspberry on there. I think that's the best one so far, actually. Cheesecake time. That's actually good cheesecake. We've got a little graham cracker crumb on the bottom. Where did I have cheesecake the other day? Oh, Pizzafari in Animal Kingdom. This is so much better than that. This is actually a good cheesecake. It's sweet enough, it's thick enough. It reminds me of like a New York style cheesecake. It's solid. Our buckle with our berry sauce. I got a little bit of that crispy crust from the top, and that was a really good bite. But the tart berry sauce goes really well with this buckle here. It's delicious. Ooh, we got this Boston cream cupcake. I haven't had like a Boston cream donut in so long. It's just like a grocery store cupcake, but then that Boston cream on the top is solid. Definitely reminds me of a Dunkin' Donuts Boston cream donut. But what I'm most excited for is this bonbon in the center here. They said that's their signature dessert. And I think, ooh, what is that? Yeah, that's an Oreo on the bottom. We've got a full Oreo on the bottom and some type of mousse in the center. I can see why that's their signature dessert. Taken like 3 bites and I haven't stopped eating it. It's like a cookies and cream mousse, similar to the gray stuff almost, on top of an Oreo, and then coated in a thin layer of chocolate. I love cookies and cream, and if you like Oreos, what's not to love? I definitely think that is the best dessert on this plate, maybe followed by the cheesecake. Those are the 2 best, followed by the buckle, bonbon, cheesecake, buckle, top 3. Desserts are solid. Now, this is not going to be a thing all the time, but if you're catching this video early on before the end of June and you're coming here on a Monday through Thursday, remember, 40% AP discount, making this meal with tax, not including tip, $31.31. Even though this isn't the best seafood, for a seafood buffet, you can get as much of this stuff as you want. I think that's a fantastic deal. If you have a big appetite and you really, really enjoy seafood, I think Cape May Cafe might be worth checking out. But for me personally, it's not somewhere that I would really seek out going to. If you go there on a slow day, it can be really, really slow, and they're not replenishing that food fast enough to where it's not staying fresh. And when seafood is not staying fresh, it can get rough. But when the seafood is fresh, you know, it's okay. I still don't think the seafood is anything that spectacular, but if you're a big seafood person, you know, you could easily eat your money's worth there, especially when you're getting 40% off. For $49, I would personally prefer to go to one of the signature restaurants around Disney and get a really good, high-quality seafood entree. Maybe check out Narcoossee's, Flying Fish. You could get a really good seafood dish at one of those restaurants for just around the same price, and I think you would probably enjoy that meal a little bit more. I mean, you wouldn't get the same amount in the same portion, but you'd get a higher quality meal for sure. As for myself, I do not think I will be returning to the Cape May Cafe unless they decide to give us annual pass holders another 40% off discount maybe next summer. We'll see. As for you diehard Cape May Cafe stands, I am sorry. I'm sure you've already let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comments, but if you haven't, feel free to be mad at me in the comments below. But I am gonna sip on the rest of my espresso martini here. It's time to head home because Love Island is starting very, very soon. Thank you guys for checking out this video. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon for your support. I appreciate all of you. I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers, guys.